Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh, Shalom, 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 Karkadesh. Shalom to the hopeful elect out there. GMS are really definitely the true defenders of this gospel. I'm going to entitle this video, True Nation Israelites and what's the other group? I believe they broke off from True Nation Israelites, but it says True Nation Israelites and Believers of the Way go against the current 12 tribe chart. They say it's false, and I'll play with the words and I'll put it right, because that's going to add up to more than 100 characters for the title. So I'll play with it. But basically, it's going to be True Nation Israelites and Believers of the Way don't teach the 12 tribes chart. And the 12 tribe chart is made famous by the leadership of One West, namely High Priest Ariah, that told me the story. I was present in the class when he said this. He went into the whole story of the 12 tribe chart, which we obviously had in the school. And prior to that, Abba Bivens, Elder Abba Bivens, he understood, about the 12 tribes, but he didn't know that Gad was Indians. Benjamin was the West Indians. Judah was the head. Judah is the Negroes, and, Issachar, Mexican, and so forth. So he knew that these people in North, Central, and South America, and these people definitely have to be the Israelites, because when you go to the various prophecies of the Israelites being scattered, they were scattered. They are scattered all around the planet Earth. So you have a lot of Israelites in Africa. But when you go back to during the time of the Assyrian captivity and the Babylonian captivity, you read about the history of the two kingdoms being broken up, and that the Assyrians, took over the northern kingdom, which at that time was led by Hoshea, which in the Hebrew is Hawashai, which is the Lord's name. Hawashai means deliverer, savior, deliverer. It's the same name for Joshua. And Joshua, or Yahawashai, the second in command of Moses, you had Moses, you had Joshua, and you had Aaron, the high priest. The name that Joshua's or Yahushua was born with, I say Joshua and Yahushua, so you don't get it confused. I'm talking about the Joshua during the time of Moses. His name was not Joshua, it was Hoshea or Hawashai. And it was Moses that added to his name Yahawashai, which means he delivers. It's the same name as Yahawashai. Now, you have a precept that I believe that's in Titus, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if I can find it. Let me try this. Let me do this. So now the spirit is kind of shifting to the whole 12 tribe thing. And we knew of these particular groups. One way or another, they stem from certain individuals from One West. I don't know the whole origin story of these guys, but I remember these guys been around for years. But I don't know the origins. From what I heard, was the Believers in a Way were originally a part, came up under True Nation Israelites, and they broke off. And that's you got a lot of these Israelite groups that are break off Israelite groups. So they're pretty much teaching the same thing. Believers of the Way teaching pretty much the same thing that they're teaching. And it goes with IUIC. There's groups that broke off from IUIC. I'm trying to think of the group. One of the groups is what is it? But it has the Yahweh Shai and led by Bishop Jessup. Damn, I can't think of the name, but Yahweh Shai is in the name of that group. Then you had this other group that broke off from the IUIC, and they pretty much teach the same thing that they came up. What group they came up under? They probably believe that the new moon is the full moon, and you can only have one wife, and a lot of them just call on Christ, but a lot of them kind of change it up a little bit. So you have a bunch of mixed nuts. You know, there's only one gospel. There's only one truth. There's only one way of teaching this truth. So somebody or a bunch of somebodies are dead wrong. But the Spirit is, making it where we're finding out that these guys don't even really believe in the 12 tribes. So how do you know that you're a Judite? Because I'm guaranteed you think you're an Israelite. So you got to think you're from one tribe. So how do you know you're Judah? How do you know if the Gadites the Indians are actually Judah? Well, you can say, oh, they came over here Syrian captivity. Okay, so how do you know that the West Indians are not are Judah, and that the Negroes in America are Benjamin? How do you know that Levi is Levi? And like I said, how do you know if a North American Indian come up to your camp and he's listening and he wants to learn or whatever, would you let him in, being Indian? Or now, what would you call him? Would you say, well, you're an Israelite? We don't know what tribe you from, but you are Israelite. As a matter of fact, we don't know what tribe we're from, but we might be Judah. Then again, we might be Benjamin. And then you had a number of tribes that stay with Judah. And you had a lot of mingling of the tribes. Like the tribe of Simeon, a lot of the tribe of Simeon are actually Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. If you've been around Simeon, they look just like Jake. A lot of them look like Jake. A lot of them look like Indians. A lot of them got more of an Edomite look to them. They call them the mestizos. So if a Hawaiian roll up on you and he wants to learn, you find out he's Hawaiian, are you going to let him in? Are you going to say he's one of the tribes of Israel? Because remember, Israel's scattered all over the place. So pretty much you guys got to open the door to everybody except for Edomites. But then again, you can't close the door to Edomites either. Because you have Israelites, your speckled bird. So this is a bunch of madness. This is complete madness. The Apostle Paul said that you all speak the same thing. Ephesians 4 says one power, one Lord, one faith. So any Israelite group that you go to, run into, that stem from the one West, one way or another, they all got to teach the same thing. So somebody or a lot of somebody's are clearly going off. They're just winging it. So let me let you listen. I'm not going to make this long, but let's see where the Spirit takes me. I'm going to let you listen to a little of this. So I don't want nobody to say, well, see, Tahar, he's putting words in my mouth. I didn't say that. Well, I'm going to let I'm going to let these men, these individuals speak right here. And then we'll go from there. And then what I want to do is I want to ask a question what does it mean? And I said this in a previous video last night. I said, what does it mean when damn, I lost my my train of thought because I'm thinking of something else. It'll come back. Oh, the 12 tribes chart came back. The Wadi Yahweh Bashim Shah Bashim Makakwadash. Oh, and in other words, let me say this. How do you guys know to call? I don't know if they call on the name Yahweh Bashim Shah. I don't know if they're calling on that name, but if they are, where'd they get that from? So you're picking and choosing. I'm gonna pick some of this. I'm gonna take some of that. So the 12 tribes, the 12 tribe chart. What is meant by the 12 tribes chart? Because if Ezekiel chapter 30, chapter 37, verse 16, read a couple of verses down. Matter of fact, read the whole, understand the whole chapter. It's talking about all the tribes coming together. The valley full of dry bones, and not all the Israelites. It's talking about the Israelites here in Babylon, because that's where the great deliverance is going to come from. But as you read that whole chapter, which is a beautiful chapter, it speaks about taking one stick, and that word there in the Hebrew goes to the word plank. Take one plank and put on it Judah and his companions. When I say Judah, I mean Yahweh. And take another plank and put upon it Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, which Ephraim is interchangeable. When you see Joseph or the tribe of Joseph, Revelation chapter 7, we know it's talking about the tribe of Ephraim. And his companion, right? And then it says, join them both together as one stick, which signifies, gives you the understanding of the dry bones in the valley. Ezekiel didn't see the dry bones in the valley, and it represented Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, or the kingdom of Judah. That's why he says, take the sticks together. Because all the tribes are here in America. All the tribes are here. Now, if you go back to the 30s and the 40s, none of them tribes were here. You might have had some Gadites, because they from here, Reubenites, maybe a couple of Issacharites, Mexicans, but you didn't have no people from Argentina, from Brazil. You didn't have all them people. You had Judah, you had Esau, you had Gad, and you had Issachar, and that's all you had. That's all you had, man. Those other nations started coming in during the turn of the century. The Poles, the Italians, the Germans. You had all these different Edomite groups, and then you had the Ham coming up in here. You ain't know what a fucking Ham was. What's what Hamite? African. So if a guy rolls up on you from Kenya and he listens intently, how do you know if he says, well, I'm from Kenya? What are you going to tell him? Well, you can't come in because you're a Hamite? What are you going to tell the Nigerians? You have to know. Genesis 49 was written for a reason. Jacob said, which Jacob was a prophet, gather yourself together that I may tell you, meaning your offspring, what shall befall you in the last days. What does it mean by the last days? Now, the last days started when Yahweh Shah was on the scene, but we're in the last days of the last days. It started 2,000 years ago, but we're in the very end. And there's a lot of confusion out there, man. So what did it mean by Ezekiel? I was going to say Elijah. Ezekiel taking those two planks and putting them together. When did he do that? When was that fulfilled? And I'm gonna go to the matter of fact, let me do this. Let me bring this over here. Let me go to Ezekiel 37, 16. But this is how a Negro operates. They'll take certain things and then they'll build on it in their own way. Now, Cambridge don't even say nothing too much about it because they don't know. They're clueless. They ain't say nothing. So not too much being said. But anyway, let's come over here. So this is the thing now. This is a whole different spirit. We're still dealing with the charagma, the MOTB. But now the spirit shifted to another subject, the 12 tribes. So this is put up by Arya Khayal. Shalom to that brother. And let me just let you listen. Then I'll probably go to the actual scripture for the 12 tribes, and I'll go to the commentation, the comment uh, site. So this just listen. But here comes the devil. Wait a minute, here comes the devil. So you heard what vocab the serpent said. Okay, so there's a question for vocab. Where are the 12 tribes? You know, where are the 12 tribes at? Are they these so-called, are these so-called white people? They're the so-called Jews. That's a question for you, vocab. Are they the so-called white people in Israel or scattered around about different places on the planet? Because you have Sephardic Jews, which are dark skinned, and I've ran into plenty of Sephardic Jews, and they look just like Jake. What about the Israelis that look just like Arabs or Palestinians? What about the Falasha Jews, which are Ethiopians, which you had a thing called you had Operation Moses and Operation Solomon. I believe it was Operation Moses that they gathered together the Ethiopian Jews, the Falashan Jews, and they applied the right of return. The right of return applies to the Jews. So they're saying that we are, the white Europeans are saying, we are in the land of Israel. We're pushing out the Palestinians because it's our right to have that land because we are the descendants. But then you got a bunch of dark-skinned people, Hamitic people, and you said they're the Jews. So there's more dark-skinned people that identify with themselves with being Israel than Europeans. You got the Sephardics, you got the Israelis, you got the Falashans, just to name three, which are look way different than the Europe. And this one woman said she was Iranian, but she was a Sephardic Jew. She said, "I'm a Jew," and then before I could open my mouth, she said, "I'm not a white European Jew. I'm not one of them." She said, "I'm a Sephardic Jew." Now, meanwhile, I'm talking to her. I'm thinking that she's a Puerto Rican or a Dominican woman because she didn't even have an accent. Then I ran into another Sephardic woman that they got to be Jake because I had good conversations with them. So anyway, let's listen. Look at this guy. He's like yeah. This guy probably grows horns out of his head at night. Neither deal falsely, neither lie one to another. The Bible says neither lie one to another. Don't lie to your own people, right? You got situation. Who's our own people? How do you know a North American Indian is an Israelite? How do you know whether Japheth is an Israelite? Remember, we're scattered throughout. So you got to accept everybody. There's some blonde hair, blue eyed, Edomite looking person come up and he listens to y'all. He wants to get down. You got to let him down because you don't know who he is. You can't call him Edomite. Certain situations, it was said that various different entities knew that the teaching of this 12-tribe chart, that it wasn't 100% true, that it couldn't be proved, but yet, because it gives people, the people, a sense of belonging, a sense of pride, that it would continue to be utilized. When you judge, you be a judge for what you just read. Is that lawful? It's like me telling you what you want to hear, but knowing that there's something else that I should be warning you about. How would you feel about that? That's pretty big. Can't run out of LA. Give all praises, honor, and glory to God. Shai, Hashem, honors to the apostles and elders of great most soldiers. Peace and salutations to the elect and most respected brothers pushing his word and full wind of the earth. Shalom to the two sisters out there as well. Yeah, these dudes, man, never heard of them before. Seeing them possible. Did a video yesterday. See, a lot of people don't know these different groups. And like I said, they've been on YouTube for a number of years. I don't know. They look like they have the way the garments, they wear the same garments, and they got the school and the seating and everything. They kind of got a IUIC hook up to them. So I believe that they had to be from IUIC. Could be wrong. You can correct me. And like I said, someone had left a comment saying that Believers of the Way are originally from, or the leadership of the Believers of the Way are originally from the, what is this, True Nation Israelites. But anyway, based upon the way they look, the way they carry themselves, the way they teach, their teaching style is a one West style, IUIC style teaching. All right. What is he got? One called Battle Axe for Yahushua, something like that. They're out of Texas. They broke off from IUIC, I believe. And what's the other one with Bishop Jessup? Somebody could help me if I can't get it. It's right on the tip of my tongue, but Yahushua is in the name. One body in Yahushua. Oh, and them guys, you want to talk about going bunkers? Them guys are bunkers, man. Look up the word bonkers. You know, let me see let me see if I can look that up. Bonkers.
Bonkers, informal, mad, crazy.
Them niggas is bonkers, man. Oh, they teach some real madness. Bonkers. What does going bonkers mean? Informal to lose one's sanity. We all knew he'd gone bonkers after he started speaking only gibberish. Informal, to have a good time, free from restraint. Everyone should just go bonkers at my next birthday party. Do Americans say bonkers? What word means bonkers? Okay, let me look at this. Let me look at this. This is from a movie. Okay, let's go to because they are bonkers. They are motherfucking bonkers. Bonkers.
Bonkers.
Bonkers. Very found on enthusiastic or excited. Yep, that's Bishop Jessup. She's bonkers for he's bonkers. The fan went bonkers when their team won. Very angry, annoyed, or bothered. I don't like that definition. You come back over here. Bonkers, mad, crazy, and the fans go bonkers. So let me just come over here and get ready to close it. Like I said, I'm not going to make this long. Okay, we know what this verse means. We're going to go into that. Let's go into 17 verse and join them one and join them one to another into one stick. Then they shall become one in thine hand. So what does that signify? The two kingdoms coming back together. The two kingdoms didn't come back together during the time of Ezekiel. Okay, they say a lot. I'm not going to do all this reading. Let me do this. Oh yeah, let me try Matthew Henry's concise commentary, and then I'll probably close. This is Ezekiel 37:15-28. This emblem was to show the people that the Lord or Yahweh unite Judah and Israel, which is correct. Judah and Israel. And it didn't happen during the time of this particular prophet, Ezekiel. I'm going to read it verbatim. Christ is a true David, Israel's king of old. Now the one that's going to sit, the king, Hosea 3, the king, Hosea 1 for that matter, the king that's going to sit on the throne, Amos 9, is actually David, but Yahweh Shah is going to be over it. He's going to be the earthly king. Israel's king of old, and those whom he makes willing in the day of his power, he makes to walk in his judgment and to keep his statutes. Events yet to come will further explain this prophecy. I'm glad they said that. They said events yet to come will further explain this prophecy. The fulfillment of that is the men out there on the highways and the byways with the 12 tribes sign in their hand. Nothing has more hindered the success of the gospel than division. So what has been divided? The two kingdoms. So the two kingdoms are going to come together. On a smaller level, it's talking about 2,000 years ago, really with the Apostle Paul, Peter meeting with Cornelius, and then Paul being the apostle of the Gentile. I magnify my office, meaning he's going to speak to all of the Israelites that didn't know that they were Israelites and bring them back to the fold. It said, let us study to keep the unity of the Spirit and the bond of peace. Let us seek for divine grace to keep us from the despot thing, meaning we won't teach of the law, and let us pray that all nations may be obedient and happy subjects of, no, all nations talking about Israel. Then, it's talking about Israelites. Then the rest of the nation, because they're going to come up under the law of the son of David, which is Solomon, that the Lord may be our power and we may be his people. Let me read Barnes' notes. It's kind of short, and then I'm going to close. It says, a prophecy of the reunion of Israel and Judah. Good, they got that right. So when did that happen? Did that happen during the time of the Messiah? Nope. The only recognized tribe was Judah, Benjamin, Levi. And a lot of people say that the grafted in is talking about the northern kingdom. No, it's not talking about the northern kingdom. It's talking about Judah, Benjamin, and Levi that have been scattered in Asia Minor and various places where they lost their religion, so to speak. And that took place during the time of the Maccabees, Antiochus Epiphanes. So it has nothing to do with the northern kingdom. It says the incorporation of Israel under one ruler, which is King David, over King David is Hamashiach, the kingdom of Messiah, Mashiach upon earth and in heaven. Ezekiel 37 and 16. One stick. So in the, give me a second. Okay, Ezekiel 37:16, one stick. So in the marginal reference, the names of the tribes had been written on rods or sticks. And that's where high priest Ariah comes in. Spirit got on him, what was it, 3 in the morning, and he went to the school, and the Spirit said, Judah is Negroes, Gad is North American Indians, Reuben is Seminole, blah, blah, blah. And then the Most High guided them to those scriptures, mainly Genesis 49, whole chapter, Deuteronomy, was that 32, I believe, Deuteronomy 32. And then you have other scriptures in the Chronicles and so forth, which gives you their characteristics. It said, for Judah, to the house of David, and remain faithful, not only Judah, but also Benjamin, Levi, and part of Simeon, and individual members of various tribes. That's Second Chronicles 11, but it's also in I believe it's Second Chronicles 30. That should have came up, but it says Levi and part of Simeon and individual members of various tribes. Compare the margin references. So, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. Okay, let me take this. It's here, but it's another. If I'm not mistaken, I went through it not too long ago. But let's see where this takes us. Okay, and in every several city, he put shields and spears and made them exceeding strong, having Judah and Benjamin on his side. Of course, Levi was involved in that. And the priests and the Levites that were in all Israel restored to him out of all their coasts. Right, Jeroboam appoints false priests. Let me try this. I know it's in Second Chronicles. Let me do this. The tribes that got back together with Judah. Let's see what comes up. All right, let me try it this way. Let me try it this way. This is what I'm going to do. No, no, no. Let me do this. Let me do this. I'm almost positive it's chapter 30. Let's see if I'm correct. Okay, this got to be it. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Let me start from the first verse. Second Chronicles 30, verse 1. And Hezekiah sent to all Israel and Judah and wrote letters also to Ephraim and Manasseh that they should come to the house of Yahweh at Jerusalem to keep the Passover unto the Lord their power, Yasha Allah. Okay, like I said, I don't want to read the whole thing. Let me start from the ninth verse. For if ye turn again unto Yahweh, your brethren and your children shall find compassion before them that lead them captive, led them captives, so that they shall come again into this land. For Yahweh the Most High is gracious and merciful, and will not turn away his face from you if you return unto him. So the posts pass from city to city through the country of Ephraim and Manasseh, even unto Zebulun. But but they laughed them to scorn and mocked them. Nevertheless, diverse of Asher and Manasseh and Zebulun, what was the prophet's name? Anna. She was Asher, if I'm not mistaken. Humbled themselves and came to Jerusalem. Also in Judah, the hand of the Most High was to give them one heart to do the commandments of the king and of the prince by the word of the Most High. Passover reinstituted. So anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom, and Most High willing, the Spirit jump on me. I may go deeper into the subject, or as a matter of fact, let me do this. Let me do this. Ezekiel 37, verse 16. Moreover, thou son of man, take thee a stick, right, for it, Judah and the children, his children or sons, Israel, their companions, then take another stick. Same thing with Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all his house of Israel, his companions, and join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. That's the coming together. When did that happen? It's happening now. That's why we carry the sign. And when the children of Israel, the sons of Israel, for thy people, shall speak unto thee, saying, wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these? A lot of times the conversation starts by people looking at the chart, saying to them, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim and the tribes of Israel, his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in thine hand. That applies to us now. That's why we carry the 12 tribes sign around. And the sticks, hold up. And the sticks wherein thou writest shall be in thine hand before their eyes, and say unto them, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen. That's why all the tribes are here. Whither? Because 12,000 out of each tribe. They be gone and will gather them one on every side and bring them into their land. And I will make them one nation. So if you don't have the 12 tribe sign, then the Spirit of the Most High is not dealing with you, clearly. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.